Good morning, Cement Shoes. Kevin, how are you both doing today? I hope you both had a wonderful week. Sorry, I have to have the camera here and the monitor here. Can't quite put the camera underneath the monitor. So I'm gonna have to be doing this all day. The other camera, when I stream from StreamYard, fits underneath the monitor. Good morning, Gianna Marie. Kazuma. Good morning. Do you pronounce it Kazuma? I hope I'm close. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, but I hope you both had a wonderful week. Connor Kelly. Good morning, Connor Kelly. Kevin says hello from South Carolina. Get my notepad out here. So we are streaming directly on YouTube this morning, trying to see if the notifications from streaming directly on YouTube is any better than if I'm streaming from StreamYard to YouTube. I'm going to see if that's the issue of why people are not getting their notifications. We'll see, though. I think it's probably the settings, because I know if I turn notifications off on my phone, it turns notifications off on my tablet, and it turns it off on my laptop as well. But it doesn't turn it off on my PC. I don't understand that. Same account, but it just, if I turn the notifications off on one mobile device, it turns it off for every mobile device. Scary Nona. Hope all is well in you and your family. Hope you get good news on your knee. Good day to all. Hope to catch you all tomorrow night. Thank you, Scary Nona. I already know what the deal is with my knee. I tore the MCL in my knee, and I punctured the meniscus in my knee. The only way to fix it is I'm going to have surgery. And that's mainly for the MCL. Otherwise, if it wasn't torn, it's 6 to 9 weeks of recovery time. But I have to have surgery, so I'm gonna have to go through surgery, then physical therapy. Then after physical therapy, it's 6 to 9 weeks, somewhere in there. Keyboard acting up again. I'm saying hi collectively. Love your shirt. Good band. Led Zeppelin. I love Led Zeppelin. Thank you. Let's see. We got Colleen Ellis. Good morning. Jessica. Dodgers are 2 games back. Go Dodgers. And then is that for the wild card? I got to be honest with you. I haven't been following all that much. Every once in a while, I check where the Mariners are, in their division. But Alicia, oh my God, prayers! This is horrible news. Yeah, but Alicia, it had been getting worse and worse for about 6 months, and finally, I just pushed it too far. And me and Tim were up golfing, and we were on hole number 12, and I felt something pop, and I went straight down to the ground, and I couldn't get back up. Tim helped me get into my golf cart, and then he drove the golf cart back to the parking lot. So and I got in the passenger seat of his Jeep, but It ain't good. Oh, thank you, Connor Kelly. How am I doing emotionally? I'm doing pretty good, Alicia. I'm a little doped up right now, though. I got this giant ice pack on my knee right now. So my knee is frozen. Oh, thank you, Colleen Ellis. Colleen Ellis. I've gone through this before with my left knee, but now it's my right knee. I have a 3/4 replacement in my left knee. I have an artificial joint. The only thing they didn't replace was the kneecap, but I have an artificial ball and the upper part, the socket, on your leg, knee on your knee. But then I still have my original kneecap. Hey, but I've been through this before, so I know how painful and tiring it's going to be. But I don't think they're going to have to do a knee replacement. It's basically fixing the MCL because it's torn. So it's like this is how your muscle's supposed to be with the muscle tendons like that, and it's torn open like this where this all should be attached. Good morning, Mid Gas guy. Good morning. Long time no see. I hope you've been doing well. Love the Led Zeppelin shirt. Thank you. Good morning, Gala. Good morning, Short Nice. All right, I'm going to get things rolling here. I'm going to read news updates on cases. These are cases that I have done, reported on in the last 30 days. And so I'm going to do a little bit of the news about updates on those cases, and then we'll go back to the chat, and I'll be able to reply back to everybody. So the first one is on James Hutchinson, the 6-year-old little boy in Middletown, Ohio, who was run over and killed by his mother. She was trying to abandon his brother, his sister, and James in Rush Run Park. But this past week, Brittany Gosney was the sentencing. She took a plea agreement, so basically she only had to plead guilty to endangerment for the two children, two charges of endangerment and first-degree murder. But that was her plea agreement. But she got sentenced this past week, and they have sentenced her to life in prison with the possibility of parole. So she was given 21 years. She could, if she doesn't get in any trouble or anything else in prison while she's there, she could be eligible with good time. And if she takes some kind of like therapy class, there's like 4 stipulations she has to take. She has to complete certain things while she's there. And one of them, oddly, is she needs to complete her GED. But if she does these things while she's there, she could be out in as little as 19 years. But otherwise, it's 21 to life. It all depends on her at this point. But they dropped the abuse of corpse charges and 4 additional charges again that she had levied against her. Now, the only other co-conspirator in the case is her fiance boyfriend, James Hamilton. James Hamilton has a litany of charges, and he is facing looking at 19 years himself if he's found guilty at given the maximum on all the charges. His actual trial and everything is supposed to start in about a month. But according to the prosecuting attorney's office in their statement, they do not know if they will be ready to proceed when the court date is actually set for. So that may actually get moved out until November. All right, next is Barry Morphew. So the judge in the Barry Morphew case has ruled that the prosecuting attorney's office has proven probable cause to move forward on charges and a trial on the likelihood that he killed his wife, Suzanne. Now, they still have not found Suzanne's body, but the judge basically ruled, look, they presented enough evidence in the hearings, and so they can go forward and actually prosecute him for it. But on top of that, the judge ruled that Barry can get bond, but he set bond at $500,000, which sounds like a lot, but it's not really an awful lot to Barry. He would need to put 10% of that $500,000 down in cash, and then the rest of it he could secure with collateral. That would be either his business or the actual physical property that he owns that does not hold anything on it. So he could easily bond out on that himself. So we know he has the money because he sold the residency and and everything else. And he's already had that, he has a line of credit that he could easily tap into. But they're going forward on the charges against Barry Morphew. All right, next is the ever-changing, extremely bizarre Alex Murdaugh, case. Every time I think I start to wrap my head around what's going on in the Murdaugh case, everything just goes whoop and it flips itself on its head. So how the Murdaughs got in the spotlight in the first place was 22-year-old Paul Murdaugh was involved in a boating accident that killed one of his friends. And he was under the influence, obviously, of alcohol at the time of the boating accident. Well, because of their status and their money and everything else, they were able to push the trial out and delay it long enough. But in the meantime, Paul and his mother were at home at their hunting ranch, and somebody shot and killed both of them execution style at close range with some kind of rifle, is for what I gather. So, but either way, they're both dead. And then the twisted life of Alex, Murdaugh, the father, came to life. Apparently, he has some kind of substance abuse issue, be it alcohol and painkillers. But I guess he was going through some depression since June when his wife and his son were murdered, and it kind of he lost control of his addictive nature, and then he was shot in the head, and he tried to pass it off as somebody was trying to kill him. Well, now we know that Alex had actually hired somebody. I'm sorry about the ringing there. I forgot to turn off my ring bell on my alarm on my phone. But back to what I was saying. We find out that that Alex had actually hired someone to shoot him, and for the insurance money. Well, why did he want the insurance money to go to his only remaining son? It wasn't just to shoot him; it was to kill him. But it was a failed attempt because Alex, from his law firm, had embezzled over $4 million from a lawsuit that actually is involving him. Now, try to follow this. In 2018, supposedly tripped over his dogs, fell, and was put into a coma, and then later died. Alex, the attorney, went to the family of the housekeeper and said, "Let me take care of this. I will get you money." He then went to his friend, Alex did, and said, "I want to sue myself so I can collect the insurance money to pay out to give to this family. The insurance companies paid out over $4 million, but he told the family that he was able to collect 505,000. So basically keeping around $3,500,000. That's the reason they told him, get the hell out, Alex. His the law firm that his family actually was co-founder of kicked him out for embezzling $3,500,000 roughly. Yeah, figure that one out. He went to his friend and said, "Sue me." So that was why he was fired, and that is the end of the updates. Oh, now I'm back to the chat. I hope you guys found those interesting. I constantly have notifications of Laura stuff removed. I don't know why. Only on her channel. Oh, sorry, Sketty Nonna. How long do you have to wait for surgery? Short, nice. I've had 2 MRIs, and my orthopedic surgeon is trying to get me in a week, but because of it's not his schedule, it's the actual surgery center schedule. They're booked all the way through to the middle of November. But there's always something where somebody comes up where somebody has a fever, so they can't put them under anesthesia or something like that comes up, and they have to cancel the surgery, and that would leave that time block for where I can get in. He's hoping that he can get me in next week, though. Good morning, Mike. Allah Akbar. No excuses overcome. Good morning. Welcome to Saturday morning news and chat. I hope you had a wonderful week. Mike, you as well. I hope you both had a wonderful week. Getting my second Pfizer shot Wednesday. Good luck, Mike. I hope you don't have any complications. You might have some, but I hope if you do, they're very minor. I had them for about a week, and that was about it. The Moderum had heart side effects. Oh, I didn't know that. I had the Madura. I think that's what it was. I'd have to go look at the stupid, you know, COVID passport thing that's in the house on my wife's desk. I've been following the story of the missing woman from Florida. Pito praying for her safe return. I read a little bit about her boyfriend this morning, but I haven't followed it, completely. No excuses overcome. I'm a nurse and a health administrator. Oh, my wife worked in a pathology laboratory, and after when the COVID thing hit, about 60% of their business switched over to testing and processing of COVID. But everybody in my household, my daughter, well, not my son. My son's only 5, so he hasn't had any of the COVID shots. But my wife has, my daughter has, my mother-in-law, myself, just about everybody I know has had it. Has gotten them both now. My mother-in-law got the booster, because she wanted to get it. I don't think she was required to, but she's here shortly. She's going to be traveling. I think she's going to Canada and then Belize. I'm not entirely sure if it's Belize in Canada or which direction she's going. But she has friends in the Montreal area. Brooks Lou. Oh, I don't know why that's hidden. Show. Sorry about that, Brooks. I don't know why it hid that. Her boyfriend looks like a mooching bum in flip flops. Is it the word mooching or bum? I don't. Neither one of them are on the list of keywords that I block, so I have no idea. Colleen, 41. Good morning. Good morning, Colleen. I hope you had a wonderful week. Welcome to the stream this morning, Colleen. Doesn't guarantee an immunity, but it's supposed to lessen the effects. Jessica Salas, have a great Black Sabbath day. Bye. You too, Jessica. I'm going to listen to the Sweet Leaf album after I'm done with the stream this morning. I can't do much of anything, so since last Saturday, a week ago, all I've been sitting laying down, and we have one of those chase things. It's like a long, drawn out chair thing. Yeah, I think it's called a chase, right? But I've just been sitting there and listening to records. Nothing beats Ozzy with Sabbath. Good morning, So-So. How are you doing, So-So? I hope you have a wonderful week. You're having a great weekend so far. I mean, it's only Saturday morning where I am. Yes, Brooks, I have to have surgery on my knee. Now, I can't turn the camera off, so if smoking bothers you and it triggers you, look away. My husband's fully vaxxed, Pfizer 8 months ago. He's very ill, high fever, isolated in our RV. He was getting a booster. Good morning, Zelda. How are you doing, sweetheart? I hope you had a great week, and I'm really sorry about Larry. Really sorry to hear about that. I hope he gets better soon. Little bit of Sandra. Good morning. Little bit of Sandra in the morning. Sometimes I think people blame their health issues on the vaccines. Yesterday, we buried a close friend who died from COVID and refused a vaccine. Vaccines are better than death. This is true. So the other day, I had to go to the hospital to get an injection of cortisone in my knee, and they have the waiting room separated into 3 sections. Those with COVID, and then they have like a plexiglass wall, so they're separated. And then they have regular non-emergency care, those, and then those who are coming in for outpatient X-ray imaging and stuff like that. And then I was sitting over there, but I could see, through to, and I could hear the people coming into the ER who they thought they had COVID, and there was one lady. I'm not making this up. She said she got COVID-19 from a can of SpaghettiOs. She's like, I have diarrhea and my chest hurts. I have COVID. I got it from SpaghettiOs. And I was like, huh, that's odd. How'd you get it from spaghetti? This is what I'm thinking to myself. And the poor nurse sitting behind the desk at the triage nurse is sitting there like, okay, here's the form. Fill this out. Put your name, date of birth. but SpaghettiOs. No excuses. I think this will end up as a murder suicide with Gabby. I hope not. I hope that if if nothing else, he at least tells everybody where the hell she is. It's sad though. I haven't read up on the entire thing, but I was reading about him this morning, trying to find some more information, see if what kind of information was out there, if there was enough to go on that was factually supported, along with what was not reported in the news. I was looking up his, see if there was any criminal background that I could find, or I didn't get too deep into it. I started to. Yeah, that's true, Mike. She was a pretty woman. He tested COVID positive. I'm negative, but I'm afraid for my old man who's dealing with oral cancer and recent bypass. I'm sorry, Zelda. Well, tell Larry that I'm praying for him. Okay, I will definitely make sure that that me and my wife and my daughter and my son say a prayer for him tonight. Oh my, I have 3 canned spaghettios. But there were some insane. I had to wait for like 30 minutes because the doctor, one of the people who had gone back that was supposed to be in for imaging, apparently was they were getting more imaging on their back or something. And I'm like, okay. And they came out and told us that it's going to be like an extra half an hour, So I'm like, all right. So I just kind of sat there on my phone, reading, what was on Facebook and other social media platforms. And then as people came in, I was sitting there listening to their stories about how, they got COVID and they didn't get, and they, are you vaccinated? Is one of the questions the triage nurse asked. And they're like, no, no, I'm not taking no vaccine. No. And I'm like, why? Morning, Shakespeare. How you doing, sir? How's the writing coming? I hope you have been doing well and trying to stay safe from all this, crazy times that we're all living in. Better zap with radiation. Well, Mike, I had COVID, and trust me, sir, it's not fun. It was not fun at all. And I had what my doctor called a mild case. It was not fun at all. I've been safe, and writing is going brilliantly. The next step is the hardest, which is finding a literary agent. Now, I have faith in you, Shakespeare. I know you can do it. You'll find one. You're very talented, and just remember that. You just keep on moving forward, pushing forward, and you'll get there. Literary agent, never everything else, it'll come. It may take some time, but it will come. There are a lot of conspiracy theories on YouTube about the vaccine. I had to stop watching some of it. Too ridiculous. Jeannie, good morning. Welcome to the live stream. I hope you had a wonderful week. Off now. I've been waiting for. So my buddy Tim is playing in a golf tournament today up in somewhere near the Everett, somewhere up there. He'd be here this weekend, but right now it's raining like cats and dogs outside. Francie, good morning. I hope you are doing well and welcome to the stream. Today is my friend Patrick's birthday, apparently. His son just sent me a message to remind me that it's his birthday. Wow. I've never written a book before Shakespeare, but I'm sure there's a lot of steps that you have to take along the way to get things done like that. But just keep on moving forward. Heard the boyfriend is missing now. Well, really? Is he? I like I said, I've read briefly about the boyfriend and a little bit about Gabby this morning, but that was just a tiny bit. Good morning, the tea with Queen C. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Welcome to the stream. Brooks, what caused your knee to break down? Brooks, I've had knee problems probably about the last 25 years at least. To be honest with you, Brooks, when I was younger, I did a lot of stupid things to my body that I really never thought were going to come back to haunt me. And as I've gotten older, my knees have broken down, and my back, my arms, like my wife says, my warranty has expired. They're going to turn me into the $3 million man. But my knee, what happened to for about the last 6 months, it had been locking up, and then it wouldn't unlock the knee itself, so it stayed like almost at a 45-degree angle. And there's nothing you could do. You just had to wait it out. It usually took about 15-20 minutes, and then it would just pop and then go back, into alignment. So I knew the kneecap was floating around, and that wasn't good. So, but we were out golfing, and I hit the golf ball, and then I went to go take a step, and my leg just gave out, and that was it. And that's when I tore the MCL. The boyfriend got whacked, or is in Mexico by now. Today is my DIL's birthday, daughter-in-law birthday. Well, happy birthday, your daughter-in-law, Gayla. Lamont thinks it's Lamont from a Lamont at Large thinks it's a hoax. I don't know. I'm on a Coney Coney kick lately. You should have a video on that. One woman was full on panic mode, demanded top ER staff treat her. Young girl mom was in trouble breathing, waving at the notice from school. Oh my God, I read it. Huh. $6 million man. Good morning, Sarah. I hope you had a wonderful week and welcome to the stream this morning, Sarah. What do you think of Barry got on bail? I think that Sarah, to be honest, I think that the bail should have been a heck of a lot more than $500,000 because between his assets of his business and the cash he has on hand, he can easily make that bail. I mean, it wouldn't even be a blink of an eye because from what I understand, he has more than enough just in his checking to bail out. After the sale and his business assets, all he had to do was just transfer a little bit of money. Boom, he could have bailed out for the entire amount, in just cash. I think bail should have been 2 million, and make him put up, you know, 10-20% of that in cash and then collateral, which would have made it a lot harder for him to bail out, but still would be considered reasonable for him. 500,000 is it's nothing to him. I don't think he's going to go anywhere though, unless the state has a heck of a lot more than what they presented through the pretrial days. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a circumstantial case. So unless they have more, I don't see them, probably winning a conviction, especially if Barry goes for a jury trial, which I'm sure he would. He convinced 12 people that your circumstantial case is, more than enough to convict me. So, good morning, Lily Jim. How are you and the fam? Well, the family is doing great, Lily Jim. Thank you for asking. I'm doing the best I can right now. I think they were protesting outside his house. Who, Barry's? Yeah, he's got more than enough money to disappear, Sarah. But how long can he make it last? I mean, and where would he go? If Barry is smart and if he was going to run, I'd run to the Baltic states. It'd be harder for them to extradite him back if he does run. But oh, Lily Jump, it hurts. I've been sitting here icing it all morning. Took my medication earlier, but that was about 4 hours ago. Mike Stevens, I'd have a serious issues with convicting Barry. Oh, Brian's house. Okay. Well, Mike, I'm in the same boat with you on that. When it comes to Barry Morphew, again, unless there's a heck of a lot more evidence that the state's not didn't present or even hint to, I don't see enough there to convict him. I say the defense made some damn good points. The prosecution made some damn good points. Going through the pretrial motion, but I just don't see enough evidence there to convict him. Sure, Suzanne is missing. We all know that. What happened to her? We don't know. It'll get better, Lily Jim. It's just going to take time. Yeah, pretty much, Sarah. Just slap in the face to the family. Scott B. Good morning and welcome to the Saturday morning news and chat. We already finished the news, so now we are just talking about different cases and different things that are happening in the world and things that are happening in our lives. I hope you had a wonderful week, though, Scott. Shakespeare has been keeping up with the Aiden Fauci case. This kid is screwed. You're sure of it? He certainly, if he's not having a mental health crisis in jail, he's he's doing a good job of faking it so far. But I don't think he's going to. I mean, there's a lot of evidence against him that is just in the public. And well, mom is, she's caught dead. I mean, why would you not get rid of that video footage? I have no idea. I would have deleted and smashed the entire system. The dad had made a visit on the 10th of September to Brian's house. All of a sudden, Brian is missing. Wow. Lily Jim thinks he's faking it. And I watched the where he was on the phone there in jail with the court and the way he was acting. I watched that with my wife and a family friend who used to be one of her professors. Who has I think he has a doctorate in uh, um, psychology, but I can't remember what his field, his major was. But anyways, we watched it together, the three of us, and they both brought up the same questions. If he is faking it, he's he's hitting enough of the right buttons, that it's disturbing what he's doing and how he's acting. Um, and then some of the things that he may have done or said beforehand, you know, telling his friend that he wanted to drag someone into the woods and stab him to death. I don't know. It's dark fire. Every time you get up, your cat takes your spot on the couch. Oh, he could have easily learned it from somebody else in jail. That is a very good point. Um, so we only have one cat, but now apparently we are feeding four cats on a regular basis. Four cats on a regular basis. My daughter has even gone as far as to name these cats. To started showing up at our house. There are a lot of cats in the neighborhood, but apparently they've all decided that they really like our porch because it's covered and it's out of the wind and there's food. So later, Shakespeare. You take care, sir. Keep moving forward. Did you see the body cam when Gabby and Brian were talking to the cops? Yes, I did, Colleen. Actually, this morning. That was the first thing that caught my attention. I was getting ready to. I was researching another case. I was researching a case that actually Adam Dirts, the lead singer of Counting Crows, was not party to. I mean, wasn't part of it. He was a witness to it. I was researching that. And then this thing about Gabby, and Brian popped up, and I'm like, "What's this?" It's funny the way YouTube works. So some YouTube creators, they'll make like a video, all right, about, let's say, the Adams family, and they know they're not going to get a lot of traction, a lot of views that way, so they'll put tags in there that have nothing to do with the Adams family. You know, tagging world news, evening news, or they'll tag something, like, Aiden Fauci, or they'll put that in there as a tag, so it'll come up in the search results when someone's looking for Aiden Fauci, news or information that somebody might have reported on YouTube. Good morning, Linda. I hope you've been doing well, Linda. I Fred Ricky the raccoon, Peter the possum, and Tuxie the cat. Oh well. One of the cats that my daughter and my wife started feeding is, they've named it Reginald, but it's got a tuxedo, tuxedo cat. Another one is an all gray cat they named Shadow, and an all black cat they named Midnight. But I'm like, where'd these cats all come from? I know where one of them lives. He's like the neighbor's house just across the street and one house over. But I've never seen the other cats before. But they keep on coming around every morning around 4 o'clock when I feed my cat. Willow's kittens like your porch because there's two porch. That's funny, Zelda. Been getting better as wine does. Well, that's good, Linda. Good morning, Kim. How you doing, Kim? I hope everything and with you and your loved ones and family. Fine, fine with time. I hear that. I hate to figure out. I mean, I'm not getting better with time. I'm the same person I was, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Not 40, but 30. At least 30 years ago, I'm still the same person. The shell that I am currently holding, in is breaking down. Kim, your granddaughter just won first place in a cheerleading competition. Well, congratulations to your granddaughter, Kim. Yeah, it's gonna sound cheesy, but hooray! I know it's a dad thing. Lily Jim, how's little man? Oh, he's doing great. Yeah, he's had a couple weeks of school, but it's kind of hit and miss. He doesn't like to wake up in the morning most mornings, but it's more the routine thing than anything else at this point. I mean, he really like once he gets there, he has he's doing great. At least according to his speech therapist, he's doing good. So he's getting a little bit more proficient in a couple of words, saying actually pronouncing them correctly. So that's all. That's good. All that work just putting in. It's cold and rainy today. Where you're at, good day to bake cookies. Are you going to make snickerdoodles, Gayla? Yeah, it's cold and rainy here right now, Gayla, where I am. It's been raining. It started raining about 4:30 this morning. We're supposed to get up to like a half inch of rain here today, where I am. Jeannie is I'm a total cat person. We have an orange female named Mauser. She is so funny because she acts like a dog, more than a dog than a cat. I'll tell you something about that Jeannie. I used to have an orange tabby. He one time these two Doberman pinchers, it's not this house, but another house that we lived in before this. Well, two houses before this, but these two Doberman out of their yard and were walking down the street and they turn, they start coming up my driveway. My orange tabby stood up on his back legs and started walking and swinging his paws at the Doberman and nailed one in the nose, and that one ran off, and the other one followed it. But that orange tabby, he couldn't have been but that big. He's not a really big orange tabby, but he took on those Doberman pinchers, man. He's like, no, no, you're not coming to my house. Mike likes chocolate chip cookies. Gayla, peanut butter chocolate chip, yum. I think I'll gain more common sense with the age, but not smarter. Good morning, easily distracted. Sneaking in there. And I hope I didn't miss your comment before. I hope you had a wonderful week. Welcome to the stream. Broken Justice, good morning. How are you doing, sweetheart? I hope you had a wonderful week. Pouring rain over here. Edge is boring, Oregon. It was very breezy last night. Power out for a few seconds. We didn't get any power outages though, but we definitely it was breezy here too, Zelda. Today's a good day to watch a good thriller movie. Yeah, easily distracted. She woke up, so it's a good day. I always tell people that every time I wake up on this side of the grass, it's a good day. Peanut butter and chocolate cookies. What if I asked my mother-in-law if she'd make me some cookies? She makes some really good. They're called um, lemon pepper cookies, kind of like a lemon pepper cake, but they're just as good. And then she puts a little dollop of that lemon meringue stuff in the middle. They're so good, so fattening though. You know they're fattening if they're good. Well, good. Do I like chili, Francie? As long as it's real chili. I don't like chili that is made with lots of beans, um, meat, like a good Texas chili, Oklahoma chili. That's real chili to me. A lot of the chilies I find around here, either I'm not talking about canned stuff, but restaurant wise, they put a lot of pinto, and red beans and stuff like that in it, and black beans. It's not really chili to me, but yes, I do like chili. Love the flavor. I learned an easy recipe to make fudge in 2 minutes, and it turned out perfect. Oh, that's cool. That's the part that sucks about my knee is I can't stand for about a minute, and then the pain is just too much to even stand. So I'm not cooking anything at all. Kind of have to rely on my daughter and and my wife to make me food or get food for me because I'm not standing for long enough to cook anything. I bet Crystal makes good chili. No, nope. Connie Kelly, my wife doesn't cook at all. In the 25 plus years of marriage, Connie Kelly, my wife has probably made five, maybe six dishes total in all that time. Now, she makes a version of chili where she puts it's like 90% beans and like 10% meat. It's the opposite of what I like. Yeah, but I mean, I eat it and smile the whole way. But she knows that I really don't like it. It's not my favorite, kind of thing. But I don't fault her for not cooking. Some my skills are in I'm a I'd say a pretty decent cook. I mean, I can do everything except for bake. Baking's just never been one of my things that I enjoy. Now, on the other hand, though, I do bake a lot of bread. I have sourdough starters that go back to the 1600s and 1500s. They're sourdough starters. So I do make a lot of sourdough because that's the type of bread that I prefer. Um, but her skills are not in the culinary areas. That's where mine are. Um, my I'm not really good at balancing a checkbook, but she is. That's a relationship. You give and take. Sorry for coughing. And I don't enjoy cooking. Kevin, he's too picky. Well, you tell that Kevin. Where is he at? Is he asleep? Oh, thank you, Lily Jim. I appreciate it. The pain. I'm keeping on top of it, and that's the right thing to do. If you ever have an injury, stay on top of the pain. Don't wait for it to get worse and then get severe and then take medication for it. Stay on top of it so it never gets that severe. I like I said, it's not the first time I've already done this with my left knee, so I know exactly what to do and what not to do. Basically, stay off of it. Take my medication, ice it like I'm doing now, and listen to the doctor and do everything that the doctor tells me to do for it. Well, thank you for the super chat, Lily Jam. I appreciate it. You love homemade bread? So do I. It's so easy to and so cheap to make. I really don't understand people who go because I grew up on. I cannot remember what age I was the first time I saw sliced bread. I had to be like at least in my teenage years before I didn't know you could buy sliced bread. We always my mom, my grandmother, somebody always baked bread. It was always freshly made at home. And my favorite was always the heels of the bread. Love that. Love the heel of the bread. And we would eat bread with just about every meal, but you slice off a piece of bread, you know. But we always had bread either proofing or getting ready to get baked. Just who we were. Tell your wifey to count the beans and don't add more than 239 because one more bean makes it 240. Too fat. I'll tell her, Zelda. She'll find that funny as heck. I make that mistake with pain meds. I hold off sometimes. Yeah, you got to stay on top of it. I mean, don't go overboard, take too many, but just you have to find that sweet area and stay within it. Mike Stevens, your mom was a good cook. Ooh, pot roast. I love pot roast. And the pressure cooker. I don't have a pressure cooker anymore. Yeah, it had a pressure cooker malfunction. The pressure cooker I had, you couldn't turn the damn thing off. It was not one that you put on the stove, but it was an electric one. It wouldn't turn off. Oh, and you had to unplug it because after a while the dial, it didn't matter if you could turn the dial, it just spin. It never it instead of like being able to set the temperature on it. But still don't have one to this day. Um, I mean, I could make one, the pressure cooker. We've got one for canning, but because I can a lot, especially right about now. You know, the farmers market and and stuff like that. I'll go and I'll buy like a lot of tomatoes and I'll can the tomatoes and corn and other vegetables for the winter time. Just the way we were raised. Always have food on hand. And there's no reason to go buy it from the supermarket from the frozen food section. You can can it at home. You have it nice and fresh as long as you preserved it correctly. Instapot. I heard a lot of people really like those. Ooh, pressure cookers scare you? To Jesse's allergies? Well, the best thing I like about canning stuff and cooking at home is I can remove all those preservatives that are put in food to make them shelf stabilized so they last longer. You don't need that stuff. And there's a lot of connections between all those preservatives that they put in food and early onset of puberty in children, and a lot of health issues for adults. I mean, and they put a lot of salt in the preservatives. I don't like that stuff at all. Pa- Pain clinic specialist tells you to stay ahead of your pain, otherwise will prevent healing. Why suffer? Well, that's pretty much what my doctor, my family practitioner. He's now retired, but I have to find a new one, a new this was a PA, right? This primary PC, a primary care physician. My PC retired. I have to find a new one. But he always told me, to keep up with the pain. Don't fall behind on it. If don't shorten yourself. There's no reason to basically what you said, Zelda. There's no reason to suffer. And I don't do um, opioids. I don't deal well with them. They tear up my stomach too much, so I can't take like the well when you name it, pretty much I can't take it. Like the oxys and the hydros and stuff like that. I can't take that stuff. I have to go with something alternative. Fresh preserves. The one thing we used to have a farmer here who used to sell mountain strawberries. They're like a white strawberry. I used to make a preserve, in jams, but he stopped selling them. I guess there some kind of bug or something killed off his entire strawberry field where he was at, growing them. But now he grows tulips and sells tulips. Zelda had a pressure cooker explode when she was 9. I made a video of this, my big time nightmare cooking failure. It's hilarious. I'm scared of oxy stories about it, and I'm on it forever. I'm sorry, Lily Jim. Good morning, Joshua. How are you doing, sir? I hope you had a wonderful week, and welcome to the stream. Shani Sells, good morning, and congratulations on making the 1,000 subscriber level. We got to get you to the 4,000 watch hours, that is. But you're getting there. You guys ought to check. You got to go check out Shani Sells' channel. You can find a link to it in my community tab. She puts up really great content, ladies and gentlemen. Me and my wife both her videos at night. We really enjoy it. Joshua, have I commented on the Gabby and Brian case? A little. I haven't really read up on it a lot, Joshua. I came across it this morning, and I started reading about Brian. But yeah, some people have been talking about it here in the stream, but I have not caught all of it though. I'm going to read up on it more later on today. Lily Jim, you're starting a channel in a week. Oh, well, thank you, Shani Sell. Good morning, Gina Marie. How are you doing this morning? Welcome. I hope you had a wonderful week. Lily Jim, email me if you have questions. I'll put my email address here. This is the one that I use, and I don't care who message. Why isn't it typing? But that's my business email address. Lily Jim, email me if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to help you. Anybody else, if you ever need to get a hold of me, and if it's business related, I guess you can always get a hold of me that way. It's buzzing right now. The Gabby and Brian thing, interesting case by the sounds of it. I've been too obsessed. They're searching for Brian now in Florida reserve. They think he's in hiding out there. Really? Gina Marie from Utah. Ooh, Gayla, we have a meetup. Gayla will bring the cookies. Certain proximity. I mean, there's some serious miles though, but there's like a whole bunch of us that are within in area. I just found another guy who does YouTube videos. I'm not too keen on his actual. Hold on a second, my ice pack fell down. I'm not too keen on his content, but he's actually here in the same city as me. I just ran across his channel the other day, but I'm sure there's a lot more of them out there. There's probably a lot more, YouTube creators out there that are in this area of the Pacific Northwest. 20 miles north of SLU, Salt Lake, Utah. Deborah Green, may I ask a question? Do you to do with Chris Watkins? You go ahead, Deborah. Relax. You had a wonderful week. Welcome to the stream. Why did Shannon's mom and dad live with them? It was temporary because of financial issues. They needed help with the kids, particularly around the time when Shannon had back surgery, and Shannon wasn't able to work. So they needed not only financial assistance, but they needed someone to be there. From what I understand, I can't say that for 100%, but that's at least what I understand. If you ever head east, stop in and say hello. I'll make coffee. Connie Kelly. Once all this COVID crap is over with, I can't wait to get back on the road and visit people across the United States. I came that close to right there too. That close. That close. Heck, I mean, I came pretty close to where Zelda lives not too long ago. I'll get down there though. Good morning, Bayside. How are you doing this morning? You're going on lockdown again in October? It's getting to that point where I am, Deborah. Will you take a plane? I prefer to drive. I don't have anything against planes. I fly, but I don't have, so it's not like I'm afraid to fly or anything. I just prefer driving, especially across the United States, because I get to see and experience the small towns in between. I'm not a big fan of like the major interstate highway system. I mean, I use it, but if give me a county highway or state highway, and that way I can stop in between in little towns here and there, and see the sights, see what because if you just take the freeway system in America, you're going to miss so much. There's so much that the highway system cut off, and towns that are there that and people that you'll never meet anywhere else. England, I would fly your family to Canada. Got to hit the grocery store. Ha! You all have a great day. Well, bye, Jeannie. Janie's going to the grocery store. I have to do the same later today. Well, I'm supposed to, but I'm going to have it home delivered. I ain't going anywhere, by my, walking around a grocery store. I guess I could use one of those motorized carts, but they're just never there when you need them. Somebody's always got them. Will you go through Barry's arrest affidavit? No, no, I have not gone through Barry's arrest affidavit. The doctor told me COVID is here to stay. Your doctor told you that, Francie? Well, it's definitely here to stay if people don't get vaccinated. Just going to keep on going. Um, it's going to, we're on the Delta variant now, but it will change again. But eventually, if you get people, vaccinated and you get the herd immunity going, on top of that, the variants that come out later on, won't be any worse than the seasonal flu to the population. And no, I'm not talking about those who have pre-existing conditions and die from the flu, or get the really bad strain of the flu. But it won't be anything more than that. But if we don't get people to vaccinate and we don't get the herd immunity going, yeah, it's going to be around forever, and we're going to still see the same COVID numbers just keep on going up. But there's a lot of people out there just don't want to get vaccinated. They're like, you ain't taking away my rights. I saw a couple of them when I was at the hospital the other day. They're like, make my breathing better, but I'm not taking any other treatment for COVID. What do you want them to do? You want them to treat the symptom. Schools in Gresham are now online. Our 2 foreign exchange students might need to go home. Oh, damn. I'm sorry about that. Like a train ride across the United States? Starfire? Last time I took a train, well, it wasn't my decision. I was going from, I believe, where the hell were we coming from? We were going from New Mexico. There was a huge ice storm, and it shut down most of the airports. But I think we were coming from New Mexico, or it might have been California. But anyways, that's the last time we took a train. It's been a long time. They have some really scenic ones that I would love to take a ride on. Do you want to take your doggy? You'd take a train ride, but you'd rather drive because you would take your doggy, huh? I'm in medical, and I finally gave in for my new grandbaby. Honestly, I'd be cautious, but I'm going to start living life again. Depression is running rampant. We're going to see a lot of issues with depression and a lot of violent outbursts that we haven't seen before, especially the longer people are unemployed and feel like they have no hope. And the longer we keep things closed down or restricted, once all that's done and over with, we're going to see a huge spike in crimes in that area. There isn't a single mental health doctor, or practitioner out there, counselor, or someone in the psychology fields at all that doesn't believe that's not going to happen. They can all see the writing on the wall now. Human beings were never meant to be locked down. You got to remember we started off as nomadic, and Where a lot of people are that way. They have to socialize. They have to be out, in public. I'm more at content myself at being at home, but no, definitely not. Will take the Fruit Loop train to Hood River. Turns around in Parkdale. They have an apple festival. I've heard of the a train ride down the hood. I've heard of that train. I promise you, Zelda. Next time I go down to Portland to visit my friends, I will stop in at your place. I mean, because you're on the way. It's not like you're out of the way. We're about to see a spike in homelessness. Yes, we are, Robin. And good morning, Robin. Welcome to the Saturday morning stream. I hope you had a wonderful, faithful one. Good morning. Claudia Rebecca. I got my vaccine and told them my allergy issues. They made me wait for double. They have to have an antibody on site if needed. Antidote. Oh, I didn't know they had that. No, Bayside, we definitely ignore when it comes to mental health in America. It's sad. It's really sad that we do not make it a more of a priority like other nations in the world do. It really is. You could solve a lot of the crime rate and everything else that's out there. You would see a much drastically reduced crime rates if we spent money on mental health and on actual, drug dependency. There haven't been any restrictions there since March. Well, I'm sorry. Truly sorry that you're about to experience homelessness. How's the weather, Will? It's slightly cooler here in New England, but still very humid. Bayside, it's raining, and it's supposed to rain pretty much all day today. I think they were calling for about a half inch of rain today total. I went to shock once for allergy on site. The doctor's office took a couple of hours to monitor blood pressure. One time thing. Hmm. I'm sorry about that, Robin. I have I've seen that personally firsthand. The day my father died, I had family members come into the home and put stickers on things that they assumed that, oh, this is what I want because I got here first. Things that they wanted, that they assumed we were just going to hand over. My mom, me, and my two older sisters were sitting there when family members just started coming by. He wasn't even in the ground and cold yet, and they came by. And they're like, "Oh, those picture frames. I put my name on a sticker in the back of it, so I get those." No, you don't, motherfucker. Get the hell out of our house. Sorry for my language, but they did that. They came into to my dad's shop, and they wanted his brothers were like, "Well, how do we get all this equipment out of here?" I'm like, "You don't, because it's mine." But people, they fought over it. They all wanted, either money or they wanted something else. His brothers, all three of his brothers contested the will. We're like, we're still alive. Just because my dad's dead doesn't mean that you guys just automatically get everything. They didn't understand that. Greedy son of a bitches. That normal there. Masks are optional most places. So just use a little common sense. Yeah, they made masks optional for about 2 weeks here, and then we saw the COVID numbers more than triple. They're back right now. They're back to the beginning part of the when the pandemic first took off. Where I am, they're finding 200 to 300 people in our local area positive every day. All three of the hospitals here where I am, the ICU beds are full. It's waiting room only, or they're metaflighting people out. There's no room left. So the next step, is total closure again, which isn't really going to bother me because I can't go anywhere. I can't really do anything right now. Good morning, Matt. Nothing like morning coffee and 411. I hope you had a wonderful week, Matt. Hope all is having an awesome day. I am, Matt. Thank you. Seems like the death can bring out the worst in some family members, sadly. Yeah, that's true. That I don't think the family relationship has have been the same since then. I know my mom. I've never gotten along with my mother, but um, I know from my mom, it was extremely hurtful. That these members of the family came over and treated her like that, like we were nothing. It's like, they didn't want to give us time to grieve, nothing. They just wanted his stuff. And some of the things we actually ended up giving away to his brothers. We're like, you guys can just have the stuff. We don't need it. You know, we're we have a family farm, but the farm equipment we didn't use it for for the longest time because my dad didn't want to farm it anymore. He wanted to lease out the property, so we let him do it. And we said, hey, you know what? You guys actually still farm. You guys can have the stuff. The rest of it that they wanted, like the tools and the shop equipment and table saws and stuff like that, like, no, you're not taking any of the furniture out of the house either. Well, that was our great great grandmother's. Well, you know what? I'm right here. Am I not part of my father? It's insane. Matt's enjoying a few days off of work. That's cool. I made the mistake taking rent assistance. The delays caused my landlord to file for an eviction anyways. So they got paid, but I still have an open eviction. No landlord will rent with an eviction. I'm sorry about that, Robin. Oh, you had a spinal fusion, Zelda? Since Payne is your first and last name. I had, I had, like I said, I had a 3/4 replacement of my left knee. I didn't have any complications from it. Everything went pretty good. I didn't have any issues at all. The surgery I've ever had where I had any issues was the shoulder surgery I had. That didn't quite go the way that they wanted it to. Heal up than they had, originally, to, but it still took longer. Hair sticking up. Yeah, well, Velcro's. Keep on telling my friend he needs to get some of those compression socks. But he doesn't listen to me. He also doesn't take his medication that he's supposed to. He won't go see a doctor because he doesn't like doctors. So costs about $65 for the compression for your knee. Love the copper fit. They're great and easy to put on and feel great. This is the one that I have right now, called Mueller Green, but it has the sides are reinforced with the metal brace because my knee wants to give left or right, give out. It's not staying aligned, so I have to have the braces on the side to stop the knee from wanting to give out either left or right. The compression, I have a couple of those in the house. I don't know if they're the copper fit, but they don't really do much for my knee. I do wear one underneath that when I golf though, and that's just more for comfort. Most of your patients wear compression socks. Matt hates hospitals. Yeah, I like this. I like this Mueller one a lot more than the other one that I got from the hospital. It basically does the same thing, but this one does a crisscross underneath and a crisscross above the kneecap itself, which is part of my issue. RRH, good morning. Welcome to Saturday Chat and News. I am glad you could stop by this morning. Get weird vibes in hospitals. Yeah, don't blame you. Why do dads like on extra pairs of socks when they go golfing in case they get a hole in one? Funny, short, nice. Mike says nobody wears a mask in New Jersey. I'm sure there's a couple people in Jersey are wearing masks, just not for COVID. That's where a lot of my wife's side of the family, they all but they all moved out of Jersey. There's a couple of them that's still back there, but the rest of them moved out to Vegas. Mask for zombie outbreak. Just kidding. Mike Stevens is bored. I used to spend a lot of time at the hospital. My wife worked there. She worked at our local hospital. She worked in the lab. She worked there 26 years. So we used to go. I used to stop by and see her at night. It was when my daughter was a teenager. We didn't have our son yet, but I used to stop by and I'd have dinner with her. We'd go down and grab a sandwich or something, or a cup of coffee, just sit and chat because our schedules were complete opposite. It's the only other time I could see her. I have used our grate. I've had 8 surgeries on my left knee and no helping it, but my knee goes backwards into the side to side. I completely had my knee wrong direction, toes facing my nose like a flamingo. Oh man, I'm sorry about that, Linda. Chilling playing the PS5. Hazel Turner, good morning. How you doing, Hazel? I hope you've been well. Welcome to the stream this morning. It is what it is. You're still walking now. That doesn't sound like it. It sounds very painful, Linda. Good, Hazel. I'm glad you're doing good. I don't have a PS5. In our house, we have well, we have several of the Xboxes. We have like I think four of the Xboxes. We had a Wii, but I gave the Wii away. There was a single father. He had his kids for the summer, and he couldn't afford. So we had a Wii that nobody was using. So I gave him the system and all the games and everything else. For his kids for when they're at his home for the summertime. And my daughter has bought the is it the one thing is called now? The newest one? It's not the PS5, but the Xbox One. I can't keep track of the names of these things anymore. Every year they buy me games to play in it, and none of them are opened. I just kind of put them in the drawer along with the other ones in our entertainment center. I probably have a couple dozen games in there that are not opened. Love the Wii golf bowling. Is that on the sports disc? PO box? Yes, I do, Francie. Someone's playing their stereo outside loud right now. Here it is, Francie. That is my PO box. That's a Nobel Media and Books is my business license. This is not just a hobby to me. This is a real business that I'm running here. I've had that business license, I don't know, 20 years. You hate them? I don't know who. It's got to be one of my neighbors. I don't. Why would they be outside playing music? It's raining. I can see the window because the door to my studio is open. I can see the rain still coming down. Wow, it's that loud, huh? You didn't know that, Linda? This is all I do, Linda. You would think that by now I'd be better at it than I am. Do I have a website to purchase things? I can't remember. Sorry. Um, like merchandise. I don't have a website that does it. I have you. I have a like a what do you call it? Like a fan store. I have one of those. Here you go. It's basically hats and t-shirt. Well, t-shirts, hats, and mugs. The actually, I don't know if the hats are available right now because I think they're sold out. Claudia Rebecca, I thought you were in Wisconsin. Terrible guess. That's Claudia. That's where I was born and raised. Is Wisconsin. I live in Washington State. Live in Washington State now. I've been out here for 28 years, something like that. Something close to that. At least it's got to be up there. My daughter's 23, 24. So I don't know, 26. I've been here 26 years. 26 years too many. Well, do you do it? Great. I have support since day one. Love to, love all and always will. You have a good old boy back home style. I love. You're kind and no drama. And always will respect that. Thank you. Well, thank you, Linda. I may not live in Wisconsin and Minnesota anymore, Linda, but you can't take that out of me. I grew up with a certain morals and ethics, and I was always taught treat others as you wish to be treated. And this is me. This is who I am. And I don't have time in my life to try to be somebody else. People either like me or they hate me. Midwestern speaker. Matt has a lot of gray hair if you don't color it in. I'm going completely gray. I haven't colored any of this ever. I'll eventually just be gray and, well, old and broken. Oh, thanks, Matt. Love Michigan City dwellers in the county. I gotta get back to Michigan. I got family in Michigan, Pennsylvania. Yeah, you name it. I got all the way up and down both of those states, from in Minnesota all the way up to International Falls, all the way down through the Twin Cities, and then Wisconsin, all the way from the up by the Great Lakes, all the way down and all over Wisconsin, and then the family goes down this way. You follow the Mississippi, because that is really how our family migrated out of Mississippi, and then all the way down to the Gulf Coast, where the Mississippi dumps in. I have family all over the place, because they worked the river system, barges on the Mississippi and St. Croix, and I think there maybe a handful. Well, no, more than that, because the kind of the nieces and nephews. There's probably about 12 of us who live outside of west of Montana. Say if you take Montana, everybody else is either, and then there's like a dozen of us that are out west. And here in we have where I live, we have six of those 12 live here locally. Ain't losing cards. My kids work in Hollywood. They love people from the Midwest. No games, good work ethic. We have a reputation. That's cool. Chicken St. Will is real, very smart. Learned so much from him. Well, thank you, Bayside. Under the stove. Ooh, Crystallina bacteria. Good morning. How you doing, Crystallina? I hope you've been doing well. Morning. The stream's gonna go for probably about another 10 minutes or so. But I hope that you have been staying safe and you've been, keeping up, keeping well. Your fam too, the French Canadian. Oh, thank you, Connie Kelly. Been busy? Yeah. Well, that's life, man. You can't control, what's going to happen in our lives. Sometimes we get so busy it's hard to keep up with everything. I understand that completely. Ton, ton or Tom? Feeling dumb now? You know, short nice. I can't remember the last time I cleaned underneath my stove or behind it, or the refrigerator for that matter. Oh boy, I can only imagine what's behind the refrigerator. The refrigerator is, I used to call it the red drawer, like a junk drawer. That was what the top of the refrigerator was. Everything and anything that you could put on top of the refrigerator went on top of the refrigerator. Yeah, I mean, not here in my house, but the only thing that's on top of my refrigerator is liquor and bubbles. No joke. Bottles of bubbles, bubbles you blow for my son's bubbles. We keep them on top of the refrigerator, and liquor. I've been messing with new software, making shorts. Love it. It's fun. They get better as I learn. Yeah, So Linda, the one I've been working on now is on my shorts. I So when I take them with my phone, okay, wherever I put the stupid thing, I didn't know that on there you can shoot a short and then you can mark it as private and then go into your desktop and actually then add a thumbnail instead of just being your face. You can add your own custom thumbnail or whatever that way. Add to the descriptions, add keywords and stuff like that. So you upload it from your phone, but you set it to private, and then you can go to your desktop and actually then change it and alter it right there. I had no idea you could do all this stuff until I've been messing around with the shorts too. It is a lot of fun. I'll definitely give you that. But I'm learning. Yeah, I want to do more of them. It's just up until the other day, I thought you had to keep your stupid thumb on that button because if you let go, it just stopped. But you can shoot a short, and then I thought that was it. And then I thought that was the only thing it would allow you to do. I'm like, well, that's kind of silly. Why can't you add other things to it from here? But now I know I can set the put it to private, and then go to the desktop, edit it, and then make it, and it launches just like as if I did it from my phone and launched from there. Found a cucumber the other day that was so moldy it turned red. Wow. I am working at talking on them. On the background colors. I can change them too. It's just a filter. A little plastic baggie here. So they're LED, and then you add the filters to them so that yellow, soft white, red, green. So the green, that's a slightly different shade of green. And then there is the opaque yellow. It's opaque on one side and it's slightly yellow on the other side. But they're different. And then there's blue. The one that's within there now is blue. But there are actually three of them. You can't because of the microphone, but got them on Amazon. I will wish you all a good day. Bye, Bayside. You take care. I'm on 3 to midnight shift, almost here getting it ready. Have a great weekend, all. Don't forget to smile at someone. It could make their day. Absolutely. Absolutely. Very good advice, Bayside. Take care. Thank you for stopping in this morning. Yeah, Norm McDonald. Norm McDonald died. He was the guest uh, speaker, comedian at the international convention to an organization that me and my wife belong to this past year. We didn't get to go, but because of COVID. Watching the chat and nearly drank the leftover gravy instead of my cider. Ooh, leftover gravy. You're in the kitchen. Well, that's a good thing that you're in the kitchen where you almost drank the leftover gravy. Mike Stevens would he'd prefer the gravy. Check out one of the new ones I did that let me know your thoughts. I will, Linda. After this stream. I have a so this stream's going to end here in about 4 minutes, and then I have to everybody. I have a premiere video that is at 11. So it's about 1 hour from the end of this stream. That gives me enough time to hug my son and good morning, and then come back out here because it takes me forever. I have to walk with a cane, to get me from here to in my house because I can't get it, anywhere by putting just pressure on my legs and walking. I have to put my leg immobilizer on. I will definitely let you know, Linda. I'll go in. I'll watch it and then leave you a comment. Oh, Kristalina, how's my knee? And my knee is all messed up, sweetheart. It is all messed up. I tore the MCL and punctured a hole through the meniscus. So it normally you could let that heal by itself in about 6 to 9 weeks, somewhere in there. But I have to have surgery to actually really not replace, but repair the torn MCL muscle itself. That or I guess it's more of a tendon muscle or whatever it is. That I'm not a doctor and I don't play one on TV or on YouTube. But yeah, so I have to have surgery. Hopefully, we're going to be able to get in soon, next week. I was hoping so, but otherwise they're booked up until the middle of next month. Am I officially disabled, Francie? No. I mean, I guess that you could technically get a handicap parking spot, but I'm supposed to stay off my legs, so I'm not going anywhere. Besides, I don't really like going anywhere, anyways. I mean, when I'm not here, in my studio, the only other place you're going to probably find me is on a golf course. I can't golf with this. I can't stand, let alone swing a golf club. So that pretty much ended, my golfing for the year. So yeah, I hope so too. It, it's not that I don't like going places. I just don't trust people nowadays. And it just seems like every time I try to go somewhere, there's always somebody, starting a protest out in front of it because they think that they discriminated against somebody for some weird reason. They think that. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody, but it just seems like that's what's going on around me everywhere I go. So I just stay at home. I mean, if I need to, obviously I can't do it now, but before this happened, we used to have me and my friends, we would call it garage time. It's basically just a bunch of boys just sitting around staring at a car and having a couple of beers. We called it garage time. It's relaxing. But everything else is I can get delivered right here to my door, so I don't need to go anywhere. No. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have to wrap this up now so I can go hug and kiss my son and tell him good morning. I hope you all have a terrific day. Now, I have a premiere that's going to be in 1 hour from now, from right now exactly at 11 o'clock. So it's 10 o'clock here. So, every everyone, I appreciate everybody stopping in. Don't forget, tomorrow we have true crime trivia night. 30 questions. All of them are displayed on the screen with the four possible multiple choice answers to those questions. And every single question tomorrow night is music related, but it's also crime in music. So thank you everyone again. You all have a wonderful day and a safe weekend.